You know, this is why I don't record during midday. Welcome back to another exciting episode of Strippin. Today we got 2 reviews, but before I do that, I just wanna mention something. I'm looking for someone to do a thumbnail picture for like a small little video icon. So if you start up the video in post, and obviously like you will be credited in every video, as well as if you have a DeviantArt page or a comic or whatever. We should do that. But basically, just it's something that I can easily change, so I can write like what I'm reviewing, so people don't have to go in and see, is he reviewing that thing? No, he's not reviewing that thing. So really, if you want to do that, just send me a private message or mail me on Riiser@mail.com. Really, just knock yourselves out. You don't have to do it. Then just thought it would be fun. But let's dive right in. Today we got, like I said, 2 comics that I want to talk about, and I've actually made notes this time. So yeah, don't got anything over here this time. The first one we're talking about is Trinity Crest, and this is why I love webcomics. I simply love webcomics because like sometimes you're just seeing this this bundle of amazing art and really well storytelling, and you're getting it for free. Like that, sometimes that just boggles my mind. But yeah, Trinity Crest is made by 2 people. It's written by a girl or boy called Sam. I don't like it can be both things, and it's drawn by someone called Stacy. Now, right off the bat, the first thing that you will notice when you're clicking on this thing is that the art is really, really great. I mean, just check that out. It's really pretty. And it's also like, I've said it before and I'll say it again. Like, I don't got anything against manga. In fact, if you can copy manga, like the manga style, then kudos. Like, really, really good. Like, but if you can make it like a Western style too, I'm all aboard that, because like we're seeing a lot of manga, and it's not that I'm tired of it. It's just like I enjoy when people don't just do what everyone else is doing. But yeah, Trinity Crest is really, really well drawn. Like that's the first thing you'll notice is how amazing this art is. Next up. It's really well written as well. It's about this. I was just about to say fairy for some odd reason. It's about this elf community, and who are, I think, getting infected with a vampire zombie virus thing, and that's also where I have a few problems, because like, so far we haven't really seen. Well, again, it's like 23, 30 pages or something. So it's limited how much we've seen yet. But so far, from what I can gather, and that's the reason why I'm doing these Strippin episodes, is because I can't give a proper synopsis because I don't know enough. But from what I can tell, it's just this zombie elf thing. And while it is interesting to see like a zombie apocalypse in a magical medieval elf scenario, it's just like, really? That's what you're going with? You have this amazing style and that's what you're going with? It can really go both ways. I would just really love to see, like, if you got this amazing art, I expect like the writing to be on par. A thing that I like really have to point out is that I don't know how, but this comic manages to really show a great age difference. Like you got a mom and a daughter, and you can easily tell who's the daughter. And it's not because the mom is super old, like she's an elf. They always look really, really young. But for some odd reason, you can tell that the mom is, well, a mom. She's older. She's and like the daughter, she's younger, and I don't know how they're doing it, because like this is a thing that I've tried to do several hundreds of times when I drew my own comic, but like they're really pulling it off. So really kudos there. Let's see where I go. A thing that I also have a small problem with is that there are a few problems or issues with the characters and their motivation. Like, we haven't seen much of it yet, but like there was this thing that really stood out. Like, they're catching this dude who they think is responsible for the critical wounding of a dude who has been attacked by this vampire zombie thing, and they think that this half elf did it. Also, again, half elf. Well, never mind. That's a personal thing from playing World of Warcraft. But they're thinking that this dude is responsible for this guy who is like really critically wounded. And like the princess, the elf princess, goes into that room and she's having a talk with this guy, and like he's being all like smug and like kind of a smart ass, which I don't mind that. Like that's a character as well as anyone else. But then like the princess is going to go out and check in the room where the some dude is, and that's when like the half-elf was like, no, I wouldn't go out there if I were you. And I was like, really? You're waiting till now? Like, we've had I think 2 to 3 pages where he's just being like this smug asshole, and like you're waiting till now to tell him that tell her that this guy might wake up and start killing everyone. And like, I get that he may not have a personal stake in this, but like, dude, you're tied to a chair. Sooner or later, this zombie will come in and eat you. So, I don't know, maybe there's an ulterior motive. I don't think so. I think like this was just a whoopsie. I don't know. But, like, that's really one of my small little problems. We'll have to see how it goes. I can definitely see myself getting entangled in this story. One last thing that I'll point out before we move on is that I used to have my own comics on Smack Jeeves. They pulled it down because I hadn't uploaded it in a while and they were kind of cleaning up their server. So, well, you can't find my comics anymore, by the way. But, like, they're doing it on Smack Jeeves, and it's if you're looking to get into webcomics, it's a really great service. Just, you know, it's a page and you get like your own URL and you can throw up pages really easily, and you also have the ability to modify how your page looks. Now, I'm stressing that it's modifying. You can't create the page from the ground up, and that's because like Smack Jeeves is for the beginners. It's for the people who are not like big fancy dudes who live off from the webcomics, and so like it's really like you can only modify it, and then if like you wanna go even greater, then you'll have to, you know, find some other place. But that this page is only being able to be modified, and how well it actually looks just with the style and everything, like I'm really impressed. Like that's something that I struggle a lot with when I made my own comic. And like these guys are just nailing it. So kudos for having a very, very nice page. The next one I'm going to talk about is Demon Juice. Right off the bat, I'm just gonna point one thing out. Oh, by the way, Demon Juice is made by Bones of Ruin. Just throwing it out there. Well, someone calling him or herself Bones of Ruin. And the reason I'm going to point this out is because I read all the comments. Don't for a second think that I don't read all the comments, and I'm going to stress that really, really hard. If you want me to review a comic, it doesn't matter how much like you scream and shout and on every video. I'm going to review it sooner or later. Calm down. And the reason I'm saying that is because like this guy, this girl, who is a really nice person, I guess, and it hasn't really gone to the place where, oh, sorry about that. And it hasn't really gone to the place where it's obnoxious or anything. It's just something that I want to point out in case someone gets that idea and starts becoming obnoxious. And it's that you don't have to advertise for your comic at every video I have ever made. It's fine. I will review it. Calm down. If you're throwing it on these Strippin episodes, I'm going to read them and I'm going to review them. So, like, by all means, Bones of Ruin. Here is your review. But if anyone else is thinking of doing the same, where they're going to like comment on every video I've ever made to make me review that comic, please don't. It will just like encourage me to not do it. But seeing like I haven't put up a warning of any sort like this before, well, I'm going to give like Demon Juice a pass. But if you start doing it, I might, not do it. It's kind of annoying. Like, that's not what I'm looking for when I'm looking for comments on my videos. It's whether or not you enjoyed the video or your own spin on the reviews. But anyway, like, this is not a vlog, this is Strippin. Okay. But yeah, like, the first thing that you'll realize, and the first thing I realized when I looked up this comic, is that this is a really, 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 really childish art style. It's it's not very well done. And like, the whole beginning of this thing is not very well made. The art is really poor, to say the least. And like, there's spelling errors everywhere. Everywhere. And like, we're talking about the W-E-apostrophe-R-E or W-E-R-E or like stuff like that. It's kind of a chore. Like, there's no real proper usage of punctuations or anything. It's rough. I'll give it that. And like, it doesn't have like a very impressive way of telling the story. Like, here's what it is. There are these demons in the world where like demons are apparently a common thing. And there's these slave demons who have to find different slave demons, and when they have found all of these slave demons, they will be free, or something like that. And the way that they are introducing, like, they're doing something really, really interesting, which I don't know if it was intentional, but at the very first page, there's just this dude who's chasing out a demon from his store. And that kind of gives you the idea that these demons are very common. Like, they're not something like, oh shit, a fucking demon! Like, it's kind of common, and I don't know if that was what they were going for, but if that was what they were going for, it's not a bad way to do it. But most of the storytelling, like the way that they convey information, is hold on. Actually, I'm going to put a pin in that. The way that they are introducing you to the story, I would rather say, is not that great, because like, it's moving too fast with nothing happening, if that makes any sense. Like, they will, like, the whole thing starts out with this Demon Juice and his friend. I don't recall her name really, but like, they're going to this like, they're just going down the street and they see this demon being chased out, and this demon's like, hey, fuck, my brother's in there, fucking save him! And they're like, okay. And then they go in and save the guy who's just casually hiding. What was the, what? The worst thing that would happen is that he would be chased out as well. Oh no. And like, that's what I mean, like, there's not something just happens for the sake of something happening. It doesn't really make all that much sense. And that's when, and like, it's very, very childish. Like, there's transformation scenes, and I actually think like those transformation scenes were heavily inspired by Power Rangers. And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, because I love the shit out of Power Rangers, but like, that's me, I'm an idiot. But yeah, like, very, very childish. And so I was just going through these pages and I'm reading it through, and then I was thinking, okay, I think I've gotten enough here to like give a interesting synopsis of the thing. And then I realized like it has a very, very surprisingly good way of conveying like the story. It gives you information runningly, but it doesn't flood you with information. Like the conveyance is horrible, but the pace of how it's conveying the information is actually really, really great. There's not a page where you're not learning something new about the universe, but at the same time you're not being flooded with this information. You're not being like, oh, okay, what? So like what? Like you're constantly being given information in a steady pace that makes it easy to consume. So like that it's kind of weird how it fails on the basics, but on the advanced stuff it's pretty good. And so when I had figured this out, I was like, let's check out like the later pages. And so I clicked on the last thing, and wow, this thing has improved. This thing has improved really, really much, and in a very short span of time, actually, too. So I would suggest, if you who made this comic, if you're watching this video, I would strongly suggest perhaps consider rebooting the thing. Like say that, okay, from chapter 1 to chapter 3, because I believe that it was chapter 3 where they started being like really, really good. Like from chapter 1 to chapter 3, just scrap say we're going to pause here and we're going to redo chapter 1 and chapter 2 up to chapter 3, and then like we will have like this new art style which is pretty okay. It's okay, and like this way of telling a story, and it will make so much more sense. And I think that the way that it is now, with the art style being as it is, and the page being, let me just look it up real quick, and the page being a little lackluster, I think that would kind of scare people away from the comic, being like, okay, because like when there's not a shortage of webcomics. So the thing that you really need to do is grab the attention of the viewer the moment they go in. And so if they go in and they see this, I'm sorry to say, dude, really poor art style and spelling errors up the ass and like not very good storytelling, they will be scared away. So you need to do something that pulls them in. You need to do something that makes them go, oh, this is not so bad, I can give this a read. So my suggestion would be start it over, but like not delete anything, but start it over, and then like see, can we do this and still keep people reading the thing. It doesn't have to be chapter 1 and 2, just the beginning of chapter 1. Really, just make sure that people aren't introduced to this. I'm sorry to say, this would sound harsh, but make sure that people are not introduced to this shitty art style. People will be scared away, people will think that this is like a child who made this, and they will not give it a read. Simple as that. So, because like you got something good going now, and like the plot is like it's interesting. So start over and give it a go. That's my 2 cents. Like that's really what I can suggest. But yeah, that is why I have for you guys. We didn't cover it all. That's good. Oh, one last thing about Demon Juice, and then I swear we'll be done. I don't know if it's because like the style is as bad as it is, but the fight scenes are actually surprisingly like easy to follow. There's always a problem with me when it comes to webcomics, is that either the fight scenes are too stiff, which they also are here, I'll give it that, but most of the time they're also way too hard to follow. Like I'm just sitting there going, what, he punched him, is the kick, okay, so it's a kick, and like did he kick him foul, no, okay, like that's me most of the time when I'm reading a webcomic. And this was surprisingly easy to follow. Like, you understood what each move was and what it did to the opponent. Again, like, that's a weird thing about Demon Juice. Demon Juice is, and like this is probably like the best description I can give of Demon Juice. Demon Juice is where the basics are shaky at best, but the advanced stuff is pretty good. So, yeah, work on your basics, man. That's all I can say, really. But yeah, that's this episode of Strippin. Hope you guys enjoyed. Once again, if you want to have your art presented and your DeviantArt page promoted in every Strippin video, and if you want to draw a thumbnail, like, I guess that's the most important thing of, if you want to draw a thumbnail, that's easy for me to like just go into Photoshop and add a text or whatever. You can do, please do, and if you want to do it, mail it to Riiser@mail. Also, if you got any fan art, that's where, like, Riiser@mail.com. Just go to town. Like, that's the mail address simply set up for the Webcomic League. So go to town on that thing, and then you won't have to worry about YouTube's dumb fucking mailing shit. Like, you would think by now that YouTube would make it better. But anyway, that's an entirely different video. But yeah, Stacy and Sam and Bones of Ruin, thank you guys for suggesting your webcomic. It was really enjoyable to read, both of them. Even though I may have shit on Demon Juice, it was still enjoyable to read. But yeah, see you guys in the next episode of Strippin. Take care.